Hello. Please be sure to read the assignment instructions so you know the criteria, because my examples here don't necessarily meet said criteria. They're just here to show you the tools and things you need in Inkscape. Let me rotate this image that I'm going to make as the back of my card. I will change the stroke color to be something nice and bright that I can see. If you hold the shift key while you click on these things down here, it will change the stroke color. If you just click on them, it changes the fill color. That's nice because I'll be able to see it if it was raised above the image of the cat. So I raise that to the top. I can kind of see, that outline there. And that allows me to adjust this image so that it fits within the outline. I do have this clicked right here so that while I was grabbing it from the corner, it was not going to change the aspect ratio, which is important. All right, so I have both of these items selected. I did that by holding the shift key. When you have the shift key held down, you can select multiple objects. Another maybe easier way to do that is to just make a selection rectangle that grabs everything, and then they'll both be selected. Now go up to the object menu and clip and set a clip. Voila, I just used that rounded rectangle to cut out a card back with that cat image. So this would be the back of my deck of cards. All right, so I'm actually working on another deck of cards that uses elements, symbols of earth, air, wind, and fire. And so what I did to get these 4 images, which are the suits of my uh, card, was I found this image on the internet. And I did this. I put some white squares around each of the images. And this was just so that I could easily line up my partial screenshots. Shift Command 4 gets you a partial screenshot and little crosshairs. And this was just so I could get the same size image, which was a square, and with the image located in there. So I took that screenshot and then drug them into Inkscape. So that's where these 4 images came from. Here I have all of the elements I need to make my card. I already made a rectangle that was 2.5 by 3.5 inches. That's standard size. I curved the edges a little bit, but it's not necessary. It's totally up to you. And I placed my symbol here, and I made a number 5 in a color I liked, and I made 5 symbols. So now I'm going to turn this into a perfectly aligned and distributed number 5 card. First thing you want to do is just make your image, your text, which is like an ace, king, 5, 6, and your image look good together size wise. So I think those look pretty good together. So I'll select both of them, and I am going to need to use this align and distribute menu here. When you have 2 items selected, you will be able to center them in multiple ways. Last selected, first selected is what it gives respect to. So that's the thing that will not be moved. In this case, it didn't really matter. And so that looks pretty good to me. And so what I'm going to do now is group those. That way they will not become unaligned. They'll stay that way. I'm going to take this and I'm going to copy it. That's a Command C, Command V if you like keyboard commands. You can also right click and see you have copy and paste, and those things are up there in the edit menu as well. So I got this guy copied, and that's going to go in this bottom corner, but it needs to be flipped. So here we have our 90-degree rotation. Easiest way to find it is there. So now what I need to do is make sure that the border area here and here is equal, and that matches what's here and here. So the easiest way to do that is to select them both and group them. Now I can align both of them together with the outside. I'm going to hold the shift key and grab the outside of the card. And now I think what I'm going to do is the biggest object. That means that the card's not going to move around. And so it's going to center the 5s on that. And as I click those, I don't see a lot of movement, but I did see some. I think I'm going to group these together. Why not? That'll keep them stuck in those lovely positions. Let me grab these guys and align them on the horizontal axis. So now they're lined up nicely. Let me take this guy and do the same thing. Those ones are lined up nicely. These ones right here, I am going to line them up on their left side. Boop. That'll make sure that they're lined up that way. These two right here, I will line them up on their right side, and that makes sure that they are lined up that way. So what I'll do is I'll group this one and group this one. And this is actually important because we got to get this middle one lined up. So I'm going to center it relative to the biggest object. I'm centering it on the page. So that guy right there. Oh, that's interesting. I could do that a totally different way. If I center that on the page and group these and group these and center those four on the page, then that's one way to get that aligned perfectly. There's more than one way to do that. So that is perfect. Let me undo that though and show you a different way to do it. So now they're unaligned again. All right, group those. Group those. This one's already grouped. So now I grab all three of those and I do a distribute. Whooping. Slight change there to the middle part. That's both the same, except that, I mean, it does this, kind of does the same thing actually. What it does is it makes these a perfect X, and I will group them, but now I do need to center them on the page. So anyways, the idea is that there's more than one way to do this because it is geometry. Let me go ahead and group this all together. So now I can move my card around and it'll stay lovely. What I'm going to have you guys do is go up to the File menu up here and go to Export. And we will export this document. Let's go ahead and do it as a PDF. Export the document. All right, that's all I have to say.